So, yeah. So, like I mentioned, we have an investment expert from Trove, who's helping power the Wealth Weekends episode that we usually have live here on Instagram. His name is Mr. Labran Musa. He's going to be joining us now to talk about just investment strategies and just stuff that we think would bolster our personal finance lives, essentially. So yeah, I'm actually excited for this one. I hope you guys are too. If you have any question, please let me know. If you have any question, please just let me know by typing it here on Instagram. Just type a question. If you have any question, just type. So yeah, we have also. Thank you so much, Mr. Thank you so much for dedicating time with us here. So like I said, this is the continuation of the Wealth Weekends episode from last week. Yeah, I'm joined by Labran Musa. I hope everybody's excited. I'm actually excited for this episode. I look forward to what I learn, and look forward to. I hope somebody will learn something from here. So, yeah, Mr. Labran, just maybe okay, just tell us a bit about yourself and what values that you're trying at Trove.
Fisayo, please come again.
Yeah, I was just asking that you could help me yourself. Just tell us about yourself and what you are.
Okay.
What your day-to-day entails, essentially.
Okay. Thank you very much. First of all, I need to apologize for my inability to connect with the audience last Saturday. My name is Labran Musa. I am the managing director of Trove Trading Services Limited. I have over a decade and a half experience in the money market and in the capital markets, as far as Nigerian capital market is concerned. I am also I'm an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. I have MBA in finance. I am also a member of Ethics, Rules and Regulation Committee of Fundman Association of Nigeria. I am also a member of Institute of Loan and Risk Management of Nigeria. I think that is what I can say about myself for now. As time goes on, we'll get to know ourselves more and more.
Okay, thank you so much. I feel like you have the and you are very obviously as you know, you are very experienced. I think it's to very experienced has that link of in the finance space. If you want to look at investing for people who are just starting out, people who don't have any idea about how to invest, who to learn, what would be the first who would you say should invest and why should you invest essentially?
Please come again. I'm not hearing you very well from here.
Okay, I'm saying who would you say should
Hello?
invest? Is my audio clear?
The audio is not clear here. I'm not hearing very well from here.
Okay, can you hear me now? Is this better?
Yes, I'm hearing now. I'm hearing now.
Okay. So I'm just asking, from the perspective of, let's say, I'm a starter, or I just started investing, and I have too much. I've heard about investing, I've heard about saving,
Yes.
I've heard about things, but I don't know how to start. Like, what would you say, I should plan for, and who would you say should invest, and why would you say essential?
Yes, the capital market and the money market is segmented. And when you're talking about investment, we are also talking about risk and return. In managing portfolio, risk and return is very key because the higher the risk, the higher the return. So, and yes, yes. So in the money market, within the money market space, there is no risk attached to money market investment. What I will describe as money market investment in quotes, like more about compound interest today. That is where the compound interest is more useful. But since you asked me about investment generally,
Yeah.
yes, in
Going
Nigerian
to get
capital market, yes, yes, in Nigerian capital markets today, we have Nigerian capital market is segmented into different category. We have equity markets, and equity market is one of those major market with major market space in Nigerian capital market. And it's there are lots of, you have a lot of quoted stocks that are being traded on daily basis, which I know that I now know from time to time, as time goes on, we are going to be updating our investors, our prospective investors on the happening on the Nigerian Stock Exchange and the FMDQ, as well as any Nigerian Security Association of Association of the Security Dealers Association of Nigeria. As time goes on, we are going to be, be updating our audience. So, and in the bond market space, there is also an opportunity in the bond market space. We have federal government bond that one can invest, which we know is if risk-free. We also have corporate bonds available that you can buy at any time. We also have maybe state government bond and local government bond and euro bond as well. For instance, federal government is about to, float a bond, a euro bond, and it is an investment opportunity for those people that want to invest in bonds. Reason why bond investment is more safe when we are looking at investment in terms of risk and return is that the risk on the risk that is attached to bond investment is very low, and that is why most especially the federal government bonds. If you look at the rating of the bonds, category wise, you find that the federal government bond is always the first because it has the default risk is very, very low, followed by maybe the state government bond and maybe local government. And the corporate bond, the default is very high. And that is why the return on corporate bond is always very high. Because if you follow the portfolio theory, the higher the risk, the higher the return. And that is why the return on the federal government bond is also very low compared to corporate bonds. But these are the opportunities that are available to investors that can take advantage at any point in time that those bonds are available for purchase. You can, from time to time, you can be checking our website, our Instagram page, or Twitter. As time goes on, we are going to be posting those information.
Hello, Mr. Labran. I'm not sure I can hear you.
One of those investment space that one can also invest in. Mutual fund, within mutual fund, we have different categories of mutual fund as well. We have what we call balance fund or mixed fund. The balance fund, hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you clearly.
Hello? Hello, are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Okay. Within the mutual fund space, we have different categories of investment platform. Let me call it platform that we can actually invest our money.
And all of those stuff. There's also a question I've had about compound interest. I don't know if you guys might have seen it somewhere, but I've also seen somewhere where you would have something like if you save. So there's a saying that is and it's true. If you save like $200 every 2 weeks, you can actually get to $1 million in what's it called? You can get to $1 million by in 40 years. So I think that's a good thing about compound interest. I'm going to also ask him, like, what he thinks about that. That's something I've seen. I checked, and I saw that it's something that that seems to be true. So yeah, we're going to ask about the inner as well. Yeah. So I was just talking about you made mention of capital markets, you made mention of the money market, you made mention of bonds which are like lower risk because it's almost unseen that they got defaults. And then you talked about mutual. To the topic of the day, which is like um can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me clearly.
Hello, what do you say?
Yeah, I was saying that I was just talking about all the things we've mentioned, like the capital markets, the money markets, bonds, which is like for government where there's a lower chance of default, and mutual funds. So I wanted to go like to the topic of the day, which is compound interest. There's something I saw where they say if you invest rather $200 every 2 weeks, maybe in like 40 years, at the rate of 10% every year, in 40 years you can have like $1 million already. What do you think of that? And like how true would you say it is? Maybe getting to someone like us, like Nigerians, for instance. Do you think it's feasible? Do you think compound interest always works, or is there like a hack to compound interest?
Yes, is feasible. Is visible in Nigeria, because when you are talking about compound interest, you are talking about interest on loan. You understand? Interest on loan giving or deposit made, and is basically one of those valuation used in the money markets, most especially the bank, the
Okay.
commercial bank, and the microfinance bank. So what it means is that is the loan give and it's calculated based on your initial deposits and accumulated interest. For instance, if I invest, if I place maybe 1,000 naira in a bank at a certain rate, maybe 5% per annum for 2 years. What it means that the first year, I am going to get maybe 50 naira interest. That 50 naira interest that I got in my first year will be reinvested, will be added to my principal. So my principal is not going to be 1,000 naira any longer. It's going to be 1,000 naira and 15 naira. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So that will be invested. So for the second year running, the interest is going to be calculated not based on your initial deposits or your initial placement, which is 1,000 naira low. It's going to be calculated based on your initial deposit, which is 1,000 naira, and the accumulated interest, and the interest you earned ab initio, which is 150 naira. So your calculation base is going to be 1,050 naira. What it means is that for the second year, you are going to earn like 52 naira, 50 kobo, something like that. So it will continue like that. So compound interest give you a leverage. It's compound interest give you a leverage for you to even forecast to estimate your cash flow. For instance, if I sign a contract with a bank that I want to place my money for the period of 10 years at the rate of 10%, you understand? So I have no the parameters for calculation. Let me give you the parameter for calculation compound interest. One is your principal, that is your initial deposits, or the initial deposits, or the loan giving, what you're giving. So that is the principal amount. Then we have the interest, the rate of interest. The rate of interest is what you agree with the bank or with the person. It can be thrifted. It can also be thrifted. All these alajo, they do are involved in compound interest as well. So it all depends on the rate of interest you have agreed ab initio. For instance, if it is 10%, so you have your rate of interest and you know your initial, then the time frame, or what is described within the money market as maturity or tenor. So maybe, for instance, if the tenor is 10 years, So you have known, you know the principal, your interest, your rate of interest, and the time. So with this, you can actually estimate the cash flow that you are going to get from this placement at this present time.
Interesting.
Even
Interesting.
yes, you can estimate the cash flow that you are going to get at this present time in the
Yeah.
future. You understand? And it also gives you the leverage. It also gives you the leverage to discount. You understand? Because for every future cash flow, there is always the present value of that. So the compound interest gives you the leverage to also, discount, to know the worth of your investment at this present time. So for those that are, for those that are, are retirees, it actually gives them the leverage to increase the potentials of their investment or their placement. When you compound your placement, it gives you that, since you are not withdrawing the money within the time frame, it gives you that it's more faster to make to make more money, using compound interest than the common one that we use, which is common simple interest. The simple interest is more like flat. It doesn't give you the leverage to add whatever you have earned, you understand, as interest to your initial principal.
So,
So compound interest,
what investment vehicles can you use for like this type of interest, for instance? And it's like 5% realistic in Nigeria.
hello?
Yeah, I was asking for like investment vehicles. What specific things can people put their that can give that realistic compound interest,
Oh,
cash flow over? And is
okay.
it realistic? Is it like 5%? Is it realistic in Nigeria, for instance?
No. 5% is not. Well, if you are looking at the percentage or the rate of interest given, it all depends on the money market rates. For
Okay.
money market rate, and the asymmetric corridor. There's what we call asymmetric corridor. As one of these indicators of monetary policy. So it is either plus, I think presently is, I think plus
Is it in
500, for plus 500 or less than this. So you cannot give above the MPC rates. You
yeah,
understand? You can't give above MPC rate. And the MPC rate now, as of today now, is 11.5%.
yeah,
You understand? So you can't give above MPC rate. So if you are going to, place your money in the bank, which we know is a traditional platform of investing. You understand? If you want to place your money in the bank, you should know that you are within that range. You understand? Either plus 500% up the MPC rate of 11.5% or below that. So within the range. But one thing for sure is that whatever rate you are giving in the money market, it is below the inflation rate. So the nominal interest rate is what you have, but if you factor in the rate of inflation, you understand, which is for you to have a real or effective interest rate, you find out that is what you are earning is below. It is not sustainable. You understand, in the money market. So I will not, for one, I will not advise people to keep their money in maybe in fixed deposits or in the savings, because I want people to invest their money maybe in the capital market or in the bond market. That is where you can make more money. But there is risk. You understand? Because when you are involved, when you are within that space, the space of money market, there is no risk. There is no risk. You place your money, they have already, as you are placing your money, they have already calculated, or based on the interest rate they have agreed, they have calculated, okay, as XY date, this is how much we are going to pay you. So there is no any risk that is attached to it. You understand? But if you are investing in the equity market or in the bond market or in any other market that is highly regulated and with high volatility, That is risk. You can earn a return that is even higher than inflation rates. You understand? You can earn a return that is higher than the inflation rate. But you need to have an expert to guide you. You understand? To guide you on how to go about, investing in a kind of stocks, or in the kind of stocks or instruments, financial instruments that can give you that kind of return that will be above inflation.
Okay. Yeah, I know you mentioned the capital market for as an example of a good means of investment. You also mentioned what specific like vehicles. I just want to know like specific things that you can recommend, or like not necessarily investment advice, but what can you recommend?
Let me be professional here. All the stocks that are listed on the floor of Nigerian Stock Exchange, you understand? Once they are listed on the floor of Nigerian Stock Exchange, they are quoted company. They are good to buy. But it all depends on your analyst or your investment analyst prediction about the markets. Because of the volatility of the market, sometimes you can beat the market, because there are two sides of the market on daily basis. There's what we call the alpha. There's what we call the alpha, and there's what we call the beta. The beta is the risk of the market. The alpha is the upside of the market. You understand? So if you have a very sound investment analyst or investment advisor, they can give you, they can guide you on the kind of stocks that you can buy that can, enable you to beat the inflation rate and make a good return. That one will be shared among our, customers as time goes on. We are going to be doing analysis, recommendations. You understand? And these recommendations is within the purview of the knowledge of our analysts about the markets. You understand? It is not a guarantee that, yes, when we give you this analysis about what I want to buy, what I want to sell at a particular time, that does not mean that, yes, it is a sure that, yes, the market will go that direction. No, we are just like a priest. You understand? We are just like a priest. So you can only appeal to the gods. You understand? So it's left for the gods to take your side or take the other side. So the market is just like a spirit. So once you do your own prediction, it might go your way, it might go against you. So, but what we do is that within our knowledge and experience in the capital market and in the money market, from time to time we are going to, recommend stocks for our customers. What and what you can buy to make you, beat the inflation rate. And as time goes on, also, I will try as much as possible to bring some other experts who are my friends, who are also good in this industry, to also guide us on what and what to buy. At what time is it good to buy? At what time is it good to sell? Because in the capital market, we have two types of investors. We have some investors that are passive, and we have some investors that are active investors. Yes. For the passive investors, they wait for passive investors normally wait for corporate actions like declaration of dividend, because naturally there are some factors that move the markets. Okay. There is what we call fundamental factors that move the equity market. There is what we call fundamental factors, and there is what we call technical factors. For the passive investors, they wait for fundamental factors. They wait when maybe a company declare their financial statement, their audited financial statement. From the audited financial statement, they do not see the indicators, the direction the company is going. Is it making profits? Is there any possibility of the company declaring dividends, maybe an interim dividend, half year, just like what some other banks has some other stocks listed on the floor of Nigerian Stock Exchange. Did last about 2 months or last month. Access Bank declared 30 kobo, Zenith Bank declared 30 kobo, GT Bank also declared 30 kobo. Of recently, Guinness also declared, I think they declared 46 kobo. You understand? So these are some of the corporate actions that move the market. So if you are a passive investor, you can invest and wait for dividend. But for active investors that always want to trade on their accounts, they always want to trade on their account, maybe on a daily basis. They actually move towards technical analysis. What are those events or happening within the market that can move the market, that can move the direction of the market to your expectation as an investor or as an investment analyst? So those informations are what we are going to be using, in analyzing stocks for our customers going forward.
So are you saying all of this information now, like technical analysis for people that are interested in being active traders and analysis for people that are interested in, like, just passive traders, are all of this stuff available on the Trove app, or do we have to look somewhere else, or is there any like recommended resource that you can
Yes, yes,
recommend?
it's based on the analyst judgments about the
Okay.
market. It's based on the analyst prediction about the markets. But those technical analysis, just like the behavior of a particular stocks on
Okay.
the floor of Nigerian Stock Exchange. You can do that on daily basis. You can do that on weekly basis. It's just like the trend of particular stocks. So if you study the trend of the stocks, it is based coupled with some events that happen on daily basis. You can actually predict, it is the direction of that stocks. You can predict. It's not that it's sure. It's a guarantee that the market will move or that particular stock will move towards that direction. It is your own prediction. It's based on your own judgment as an analyst. So those events is just like the trend of a particular stocks or the trend of a sector within the markets. You understand? So you can predict. Some people can even predict the behavior of investors as part of analysis. There are some investors. You understand? You can't convince them to buy a particular stock. You understand? There are some investors that even if you want to buy, they will call you that buy social stocks. There are some of my clients before now, if they call me, I don't need to tell them that this is the direction, this is what these are the stocks I recommend for you. No, they already have the mindset of the kind of stock they want to buy. And whenever they call me, I say, this Baba has come again. I know the kind of stock they want to buy. You understand? So the behavior of investors also matters, in investing in equity markets. But
Yeah.
basically, it is the fundamental analysis and the technical analysis that move the markets.
So what I'm getting from this is that there are so many people in the markets, and people
Yes.
have different reasons why they are in the market. Like, like you said, active and passive investors. People are in the market for their own reasons as well. So it's all like different reasons. And there's a way you can sort of predict. There's a way like experts can sort of predict. Like the behavior of some investors and also like future trends. So yeah, I was just some of the questions that were coming up before you joined the live session was more around like regulation with what like I don't know what the CBN thing, and just generally like regulation with Trove. And I was also asking about like those resources on Trove. Like, are they things that we can read? Are they things that we can point to? So it's like a two-part question. Like, how is regulation like, and what resources specifically can aid investors? What are the resources that can aid investors that are currently maybe on the app or on the blog or something?
The resources are no. I'm yet to get the last part of the question.
Yeah,
The
like what
resources,
resources? I know you mentioned, like you were mentioning things about active traders and passive traders and
yes, yes.
tools that they can use to analyze the market. So I'm asking, can we find those resources?
Yes, yes, you can find them. Like on the floor of Nigerian Stock Exchange, companies are expected within the regulatory framework of SEC, that is Security and Exchange Commission, which is the
Okay.
apex regulator in the Nigerian capital market. Any firm or company that is listed on the floor of Nigerian Stock Exchange are expected to disclose their half-year ending or their half-year unaudited financial statement to the markets. They are also expected to disclose their audited financial statement to the markets at the end of their financial period.
Okay.
So once those informations are disclosed to the markets, they will be available to the public. Those
Okay.
information, those informations are available on Nigerian Stock Exchange website, that is NGX now, that is
Okay.
Exchange
Yeah. Yeah.
NGX website. So those informations are available for every investors that want to invest in the capital market or in the equity market. So they are available to investment analysts, they are available to investors, they are available to accountants that want to analyze a particular firm or a
Sure.
particular
Sure.
stock.
And with the last side about regulation, like what is that like currently?
They okay,
With the
they,
question about yeah, regulation and like CBN and all of that.
yes, CBN. Nigerian market, as I earlier said, is segmented into two parts. We have the money market and we have the capital market.
Yeah.
The capital market is regulated by SEC, that is Security and Exchange Commission, while the money market is regulated by CBN. You understand? But nevertheless, the two regulators work hand in hand, they work together as one. For instance, let me maybe the question they're asking about, maybe the recent
Yes. Yes.
CBN pronouncement on the
Yeah.
restriction of the account of the fintech operators in Nigeria. What really happened is that um, within the Nigerian both money market and capital market regulatory framework, you understand, all the financial intermediaries operating within the borders of Nigeria has to be regulated by either CBN or Security and Exchange Commission. So the step that the CBN has taken is to bring the fintech space into the regulatory fold, you understand, as one of the capital market operators. So it is not that they actually want to, yes, they restricted the account because they want us to get registered. They want us to normalize our operation as far as Nigerian regulatory framework is concerned. And that we are doing now. There is no cause for alarm. We have started the process, and very soon we will get our license as one of the capital market operators licensed to operate in the Nigerian capital market. So between now and the end of this year, I believe that all these problems will, be sorted out. And mind you, it's not only Trove that has its
Yes.
license.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Sure.
it's about five renowned
Yeah.
fintech operators were also, affected. Chaka was affected, Bamboo was affected, Rise was affected, and Trove was also affected. And these are the top five fintech industry within Nigerian regulatory framework. So we are trying to, normalize our operation with the regulator. So by the time we do that, then um, we'll move forward from there.
Thank you so much, Mr. Labran, for your time. I actually learned a lot of things, from this
Thank you very
session,
much.
and I really hope people learned some things. There are some things I'm also going to research, especially when you mentioned about the bond and the Euro bonds specifically.
Yes.
Maybe I might even make a video about it. It's something that you mentioned that I've been trying to research myself, but now that you mentioned it, I think it's a push for me to actually research this. So yeah, like thank you so much for your time. I really really appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much. Sarah.
I really hope people got to benefit from this. So I'll be saving this video and you can just reference it and watch it later.
Thank you very
All right,
much.
thank you. Yeah.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bye.
All right.
All right. Bye.